StarVision has straightforward ways to log into and get data out of CDDVault. What you can do is log into your CDDVault account and go over to Settings. Under Settings, click on API Key and create a new API key for which you can use to get access to your database from a third-party program such as StarVision. Give it a useful name, save it, and simply create your key, you copy and paste it, and then we can say File, Import from CDDVault, and you can paste your key right into the top line, and StarVision will encode it and encrypt it and save it locally so you do not have to enter that key in. You can pick a search, such as the antibody database, and we can ask it to import the data. It'll take a few seconds to import the data, and then the data gets imported, and you can see all the data that is coming into your data set. In this particular case, we're interested in the sequence column, so we make sure that we are set to the sequence column. Alternatively, you could have your sequences in any column and you just set it to the correct column. And we're just going to hit OK and import this data set. It is now asking us to perform an alignment. Since these are antibodies, I'm going to align it to a FAB antibody, antibody profile so that I can get naming. And when I hit OK, I import all of the data. I perform an alignment on the sequences, and then I name the sequences, for example, light chain, and with motifs for the framework 1, the CDR1 for the light chains, and then all the way to the heavy chain. We have a chain break and we have a heavy chain we have the framework for the heavy chain, the CDRs for the heavy chain, and it's all color coded nicely. In our StarVisions, you can right click on a table, we can say columns, we can clean this up nicely. For example, I may care about the molecule name. I'll lock it to the left. I care about the activity. It will lock that to the left. And perhaps we'll keep the title structure, which we will not lock. And so as I scroll, the two columns that I locked to the left will be frozen on the side. And we can browse through our data set rapidly and look at the SAR, or sequence activity relationship, of our sequences, how they change relative to our activity very rapidly. If we don't like what we're seeing too much white space or too much sequence that is unchanging and uninteresting, we can simply right click on the template and we will clone this template. In the second template, we will edit it, and we can, for example, remove all of the motifs that we don't care about and concentrate on that one CDR, that one variable region of our protein between light chain position 23 and 35, and we can analyze it by itself. And I can hit OK, and then what we get is only the CDR1, and we are excluding from analysis all the other regions of the protein. This is a nice way to home in on specific regions of your protein and analyze it, the sequence activity relationship between these two. You can add additional views here, for example, a logo plot. You can do multiple views, so we can drag the sequence table. We can move the sequence table to the bottom and keep the logo plot on top for that region. We could add filtering. For example, I may want to filter to only the active compounds, and you notice the table live filters down to just those rows that fit my activity criteria. This is because the table is only showing rows in subset 1, and subset 1 is just a short range of activity here. And we could make the we could make the logo plot filter by the subset 1, and we could look at the motifs that make it active, or those that make it not active. And we can live filter our logo plot, our sequence table, and many of the other views that we have in this data set.